bans on the other. Likelihood is this is the mid lane blind pick. It's going to be Peng taking the victor, getting rid of some of the matchups that they don't want to see Seiken play. I think that Seiken on Ryze and LeBlanc last split were his two go-to champions. Has an Azir that he can look to utilize, and Victor was quite a counter to Azir long time ago, but still fits Seiken's play pattern. That was his sort of third champion, I think, that he tend to resort to. K-Corp know that they're going to be trying to blind that top laner, and I think that this composition just screams K-Corp from the past. This is exactly what they would want. Galio locked in. Let's see them go up to the top lane.
What could it be for Cabochard?
It's a blind.
It's a blind.
So it could be a little difficult, but that wouldn't be surprising
Ooh.
if we get something.
And this was a champion we spoke about how this was something that maybe Adam would have looked for earlier in the BDSA Academy game. In terms of how it's been changed, it's been a lot more stronger in the solo lane now, has that shield now, a lot more lane dominance. I'm very interested to see Cabochard play this.
I want to know what Dalek has to answer the Olaf. This, obviously, I think on 12.9 we were quite right in saying that it had been adjusted. I'll get a confirm on that in a minute or so, but the Gangplank locked in as the answer. So this is, again, a fairly winning matchup for Olaf. Olaf tends to have pretty much exclusively won matchups in the top lane. It's why you pick the Olaf. You want to win early and try and snowball, which is exactly what Karmine Corp were doing the entirety of spring. This is a return to comfort for them. They can use Hantera to start roaming, leave Reckless on this Ezreal to farm up a storm regardless of having support or not. Dive top lane, Dalek on this GP. We have seen GP dives go badly, and if Dalek can outplay, then that could be very, very good for Oplon. But the early game certainly where K-Corp need to go off.
Indeed, and I think just I want to point out in terms of a point, one of the real issues that I feel like Oplon might run into is the kind of the solo lane matchups. That's where a lot of the kind of where the pressure points could be for Karmine Corp to be able to take out. Galio isn't really going to be your man for that kind of job. But Cabochard
in the little hype video.
Oh right, I didn't notice that. That's really sad.
There was everybody else.
He's like he's like in like Game of Thrones. He's like a faceless assassin, you know.
He's also getting ready for Kaiser Evolved E.
Ooh.
Ooh. Level 1 ward.
The level 1
top
ward.
lane.
It's really a theme today that's carried out. It doesn't really happen in the first few games, but now we're seeing it more. The level 1 top lane ward.
It's worth mentioning that Olaf, level 1 champion, very, very strong. You can go for these crazy invades and just stat check people because you just have axes that you can reset. You can dish out a lot of damage fairly early on, and typically it's quite hard to try and match that. So looking for any sort of invade, any sort of warding extravaganza, certainly something I would have hoped to see on K-Corp. They don't get away with anything just yet, as they actually managed to find a ward in on the bot side of Oplon's jungle. So they are going to have some information.
Indeed. I think one of the benefits of us being very, very English and casting the wonderful French League is that we can bring our own linguistic flavour to it. And Peng, obviously, you being from the UK will know as well, is a word for a beautiful... You describe it as a beautiful woman. She's Peng.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, can Peng have a beautiful display, or is Oplon solo lanes going to fall apart at the seams and mean that Zekor can't necessarily do as much as he wants to? Is a big theme for me this game.
Yeah, we are looking at, I think, Dalek to have one of the harder laning phases. This is a mid lane matchup that shouldn't be too difficult for Peng to just go even in, stabilize. The issue that Victor is going to have this game is trying to match the roam capability of a Galio. Obviously, starting with that boots, gone for the refillable potion as well. This is a fairly greedy opener for Seiken, but it is just saying, I don't really care for the laning phase.
Maybe the hook on to Twists. You want the Zekor there. Nice little trade out from Reckless and Hantera. Having their second split together, finding out any potential synergy issues they might have had last split. Looking to consolidate for this game 1 of the LFL summer split.
And a lot of this control in the bot side is due to having to give Shenfire a leash. This wasn't a luxury given over to AC.
Oh, Predator comes out. Peng has to flash almost immediately. And that's a really good opener to this lane. You have the level 2 mark Predator. We spoke about how he's a slightly greedy buy going for that Predator, but he's really able to utilize it there. I wonder if it's going to be a revisit in the mid lane as 113 goes aggressively onto this Predator.
Yes, Shenfire has no cooldowns. Use the
Wins
ball
the
on the
smite.
And he's got double control from solos as well.
Wins the smite, and it's going to be Shenfire coming up huge here. 5 HP was the margin.
Gonna go for Peng,
though. Flash over the wall here. Peng doesn't have flash, and it's a really greedy pathing from him. Gravity Field is going to get the stun up onto 2. He's not quite available from Shenfire. Is now. Peng makes it out alive just about. managed to find the hook, was close to the roam. Overall, Shanfire walks away with his red buff. Peng walks away with a disadvantage in the mid lane.
Yeah, so without Flash, of course, it's going to be very scary for Peng to play out the rest of this laning phase. You're going to have Predator back up in about 30 seconds or so. Oplon looking to zone Reckless away from farming, from CS, from experience as best as possible, but this is that power of Ezreal we were talking about, where you can just use Mystic Shots and pretty much cheat all of that. Really nice passing from Shenfire. He's not spotted here. Hantara and Reckless now in a bit of trouble.
He's going to be getting queued out here. It's going to be the immediate flash out from Hantera. Means that a gank here, wishful boon is found by Shenfire on the volley bear.
Yeah, and gets to summon a spells, burns heal and flash, so that's 2 for nothing, and Saken's even back down again.
Saken's all over the shop this game. He's all over the place.
This is what you see from a Galio. With a boot start, this is kind of what you want. He's just going to push every single wave in the mid lane, and this is what I was talking about, right? Your issue for Peng is not how well he can do versus the Galio 1v1, how well he can do versus the Galio on a broader macro sense of trying to move around the map and match him.
He's coming out from Cabo Shard here. Dalek just trying to build up that defensive barrel network. Anything that can staple Cabo Shard back to his side of the lane. That W shield is quite massive just for being level 1.
Yeah, and he's not even maxing it. I was looking to see if that was like 3-point W for
level 1.
Withering Barrel sustain. It's just not. It's simply a broken level 1 ability to try and immune anything that Gangplank's putting down. This is scary. Cabo can die.
Dalek is really low. He's using the W here. I mean, a 1-for-1 trade here is really good, but Cabo Shard's fluffed the Q here. He's not going to be able to quite get it here.
Yeah,
like I said, a 1-for-1 trade here with the wave going down. He would have been able to get some of the wave with the teleport, but that would have been a completely fine victory. Peng doesn't have flash here. Can 113 find the angle here? He gets the W. Gravity Field is going to mean that 113 is stunned up here. Peng doing well to not die as much as he maybe could have in other scenarios.
It's a common theme in the mid lane right now that they're getting all of the CC down, but they just don't have the damage at this early stage. Let's look at the items for 113 and Seiken. We have a Kindle Gem and we have Boots. Those are not your kill champion acquisitions.
Doesn't have flash here. Shanfire's trying to find it. And the flash forward from Hantera is going to be the engaged. Gravity Field is going to get stunned here. It's a big knock up from Twist though. And Hantera is going to go down for the first blood onto Twist. They're still trying to find something, but Shanfire's going rather low. If they can get the reset, this could be the change here. Here comes Seiken. He gets it. Twist is going to go low. W forward from 113. And this is a turn on its head fight. Dalek's around the side here. He's not going to be able to find much though, as 113 is going to be able to walk away.
Yeah, use that Rakan body possessed to dash away. A 2-for-1 in favor of Karmine Corp, and they get the kills in the right places as well. Seiken a 113 pick up there's where it's Twist who takes the kill for Oplon, so a 1 trade in the top side of the map for Karmine Corp, utilizing that early aggression that 113 has been putting down.
Looked slightly overzealous from Hantera as they engaged onto Shenfire. You've got the shield from the E and you're thinking, wow, this can actually turn, but what we didn't realize is this Rakan barely any damage in the early game in response to what, I mean, a Nautilus can output quite a decent amount of damage. So that ended up being quite in the favor of KC. For me, it's about whether they can consolidate further. The Shenfire doesn't have flash here, and they move towards the first dragon, potentially look to set up a Rift Herald in the next minute or so.
Yeah, it's the perfect example of when we say an early game composition, why we say it, right? Oplon just don't have that. Victor, not good early. Rakan, not so great.
Here comes Shenfire here. E is going to go down to Cabo Shard. Cabo Shard's in the ult though, and it's going to be a misstep from Shenfire. Trial by fire in his first game in the LFL is going to mean that Dalek is going to go down as well. Exterminated by Seiken. Here comes the... I thought the axe was going to take it down there. Not quite though. You see this. We talked about KC. They will find these advantages in these early games and use them to balloon open the mid game.
Yeah, and this is all that Oplon needed to avoid. It feels weird that they're just going for these plays because their composition later on is going to have a lot of more presence. They've got Kai'Sa, they've got Victor, who we keep saying is a really great late game carry, but the teams never allow the Victor to get there. G-Core on this Kai'Sa will have that same level of pressure as a late game carry to potentially help out Team Oplon, but they've just been not allowed that gateway. Shenfire going for an over-aggressive play and is right now very far behind. 0-2-1 may not look like the most horrendous score, but we look at the level disparity as well. Yeah. Level 4 just ticked to level 5.
Yeah, that gateway has well and truly been Shenfire walled. And as we browse around the map, try and have a explorer on the internet. The Chrome, there's no Chrome. Sorry, I tried to extend it. Like Icarus, I flew too far to the sun, but I think it's a real testament to how this game's going that traditionally we talked about how Seiken would be sacking some of these waves to try and build up a lead in the side lane. He's actually ahead around 12 CS or so right now.
Yeah, and that's largely because of the amount of times 113 has just gone mid lane and sent Peng back to base, right? They may not have got the kills on the Victor, but what you've done is chunked him out enough. What is this rubber band XP, by the way?
And XP very broken. Seconds in the bush here. Schoenfire's going to have to say goodbye to his red buff there. He managed to get it earlier, but that is not the case now.
Might just die. Has to burn ult here.
He has to burn ult here, I think. He manages to dodge out here. Good E, actually. Going to be ulting in response. There's a flash out for 113. There's a fight on the side here. Twist goes very low in response to Saken, but they managed to find the reset onto by killing Dalek here. 113 has gank barrels galore here. Triple barrel here from 113. Very impressive stuff. Going to pick up the volley bear as well. It's another 2 kills. We spoke about how important it was for Oplon not to fall apart at the seams in regards to early lane pressure, and that has very much been the theme so far.
Yeah, and you know, you see an Olaf and then you pick a Gangplank who, outside of that level 1, is certainly going to have a notoriously difficult matchup in the top side, and Cabo has really been able to force that, almost doubling the farm of his counterpart right now and taking every single fight in his stride, really finding a good time of things for the most part. And 113 has been in the right place at the right time. Yes, he got a little bit of help from Saken in the early game to facilitate some leads, but that one gank in the top lane that Schoenfire went for, completely stuffed, and this one as well.
And it is going to be KC getting that vision, Oplon getting that vision set up towards this dragon now. Whether or not they can transition into it is another question, but it was a good dodge out from Schoenfire. You thought it was going all right just for a second. Cabashot goes relatively low. Dalek not able to do much. He walks up too late, too close to, and that second doesn't quite manage to space it right in the way. But this was impressive from 113. I mean,
it's one thing when a top laner does a triple barrel combo, and you're like, okay, you know, you've put your time in on Gangplank. It's another thing when a jungler just whips it out and playing Viego.
Yeah, impressive from him. Obviously, maybe played a little bit of Gangplank in ARAM or something.
Little test. That's how Viego's trained.
Strangely enough, Viego's best tool is potentially the ARAM. Actually, no, it's not. That's a complete lie because all the damage numbers are completely different. It can really throw you off.
Just practice tool.
Practice tool. Yeah, we found the solution. Speaking of solutions, is there a solution for Oplon in this game, or it just seems like they're going to get steamrolled from this point onwards?
They're at the mercy of Karmine Corp. If KC continue to look for fights, continue to look for engages, then Oplon are going to struggle. If KC start to rest on their laurels a little bit, don't look to extend this lead. They lost out on that first dragon, so a soul is still 20 minutes away for them. 30 minutes into a game, you can see a Victor being able to win a team fight for you. But they're still, you know, maybe not even going to need a soul. If you can set up a good fight around a Baron with enough of a lead, then you can just play the Mad Lion special, really, where you just start hitting Baron randomly and then take a fight because you know you're going to win it.
I'd be very interested to see what the gold disparity is in the top lane, for example, if we can maybe pan over to that in the observer.
I don't know that we can. I don't think that the LFL English stream has that communication.
Well, am I just asking for things that are just complete? I'm just being a very greedy boy.
Correct.
Like Oliver Twist.
No.
Can I have some? Come on, that was good. Come on, give me
some. It was
credit.
okay.
It was all right.
It was okay.
I saw it. I had to go for it.
Execution 4, Theory 10.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you there. That's gonna farm a few ha-has from chat. Not that that's a good.
We'll rejig it for tomorrow.
Absolutely, completely.
This is a 3v3 bot. Gangplank has no ults. This is hard if...
It's going to be an engage onto Twist. Shunfire is here in response. Ezreal ult comes out from Reckless here. Shunfire goes solo. Has to ult out here. 113 can't quite find the reset. It's a Q from Reckless. Twist, you have to block that one, my man.
Yeah, I know. Okay, re-engage.
Z-Core goes very low here. Gets the ultimate out. Doesn't quite manage to get taken down in the end. 7-1 is the scoreline. And it's going from bad to worse for Oplon.
It is, and Karmine Corp doing what they need to, continuing to force these fights. They see Oplon just a little too overextended. They see that Huntera has an angle to find an engage, and they force on it. Really well played to just set up that skirmish and put themselves with that fight, take it for the win. And you mentioned that Schoenfire needs to get those Qs blocked by Twist. Schoenfire wasn't helping out in any capacity, moving to get away, I suppose, from any auto attacks flying through, but also away from Twist. And it's a difficult balance when you're trying not to die from one side, but if you go too far the other, you're just going to get taken out. So again, we know this game was going to be difficult for Oplon, and Karmine Corp is showing us why.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke so much about how Oplon really needed to consolidate some stability in the solo lanes. That's not really been the case. Peng falling behind in the Galio matchup, not necessarily one of you seeing. I mean, it's almost a double CS lead. If my mass is mass is completely wrong. It's not double. 132 would be the number required for that, but it is practically double. We can round that up.
I mean, relative to the game state, right? Like, you're talking
Ooh,
about
I like
effectiveness.
that. Relative to the game state, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, effectively, it is double. That's the important part. It's like 121, 132. Like, really, realistically, the difference between that and a 67 gangplank, 67 CS gangplank, you can argue they're the same thing, because at the minute, Dalek has been absolutely put in the dirt through a few ganks into the top lane and just through Cabo's really good laning to begin with to set it all up. This has been a brutal lane matchup.
Here.
Yeah, there's going to be more.
Taken onto Zikor here. Zikor does have flash, but it's not going to be enough. He just gets taken out. Very, 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 very sad to watch here. 113, we did want to look at him onto Dalek here. And Terra tries to find the ultimate out in response, but Chris is going to be there in response to try and delay that. Knight is a bit of wishful thinking there. I don't think you're quite going to manage to kill 113 there.
Nice from Twist to be there to protect his top laner, but across the map, really, it's just all going wrong for Oplon. This is with Seiken pushing in the bot lane. We are now at 14 minutes, so he has TP.
That's going to be a hook straight onto Dalek. He gets taken out almost immediately. And I mean, at this point, it's kind of getting to a point where there's not really much that Oplon can do in response. Gangplank has fallen considerably behind. Shanfire's not being able to operate under much utility. Twist is just kind of having to put out so many different fires around the map that it's almost like, oh, but here comes Zikor. We can't quite manage to see him. He almost managed to find the solo kill there. He went very aggressively there. I think in a game like this, you have to respect the attempt, but there is the response almost immediately.
Yeah, there would have been a chance for him to solo kill, but unfortunately, it was never going to be solo. Really good response, good collapse from Karmine Corp. Seiken using that heroic entrance, right? I talked about it. If you ever look for a play and Seiken is nearby, this Galio is going to be able to shut you down, going to be able to deny you that luxury. So, a bit too overzealous, unfortunately, for Zikor. Still working on that Q evolve as well, of all things, and working toward what could be Kraken Slayer or Gale.
We've talked a lot about economy. We've talked about crab economy last game. I think, what are some things within the League of Legends universe that you could buy with this 8k gold lead that KC have?
Hold on, I've got the answer to this one. It's one of the... so, you've watched Arcane, right? I feel like that's a given.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Bat Chest Arcane. Yeah, I've seen it.
I think you could buy one of the little things that Jinx steals for 8k.
Really? How much is... I feel like 8k is quite a lot of money.
Yeah, I do as well.
Just think about it relative. Like, what's like a really fancy item?
Rabadon's Death Cap.
Like a Rabadon's Death Cap is literally looks like a mythical like wizard's creature. That's about 3k. 3.6k. So you could get two of those.
Easily buy.
I think you could buy like a yacht in like Bilgewater for 8k.
Yeah, Bilgewater yacht for sure. Not a Demacia yacht.
Yeah, not quite a Demacia. I mean, Oplon's certainly feeling the might so far of Reckless and Co. and Karmine Corp. They are very much rattling down on them and really just unrelenting in their pressure forward in this game.
Almost taking out this mid lane tier 1 turret as well. Reckless doing the final job, really, I suppose, to try and take that one down. A nice little juke, I suppose, from the True Shot Barrage, but you can already see as soon as Hantera shows up, they're just terrified at where else from the woodwork we're going to see Karmine Corp from Seiken's Pop Predator. Cabo was on the top side as well. Like, even this tier 2's not safe.
Yeah, any second Hantera is just ready to hand-tear them a new one. And it's going to be the case that Zikor has to be just incredibly, without that cleanse, in regards to the Galio, incredibly careful. One misstep does mean death.
And Rift Herald as well. This is something that just can't be stopped. At this point, you're thinking, what can Oplon do from here? And that's why I say they really are at the mercy of Karmine Corp. Because if KC want to do this, there's nothing really that Oplon can do. If they go for a 5v5 there, they lose that, and they're likely to lose at the mid lane inhibitor as well. So they are just waiting for Karmine Corp to make plays, make mistakes, if possible, and then try and capitalize on them. But the issue is, even if a player from Karmine Corp missteps, there's things like Seiken Ultimate to come and help them out.
I feel like not enough references are made about the fact that KC has a very similar name to KC in the Sunshine Band. Are you familiar?
I don't know what that is.
You know that it's a band. They did the song "That's the Way." I like it. You know them.
I don't know them. I know the song.
Yeah, the song is very famous. I feel like
it is.
Just immediately, I'm thinking out loud. We need to find ways to work that in here because Shernfire is just so close to getting caught out there by Hantera, and just it's one of those things where like none of the map belongs to Oplon.
Yeah, their topside jungle is sort of their one safety net at this point, but that's because Because Karmine Corp just don't care for it right now. They're trying to set up for this next dragon, I suppose, but they could also go for the Baron in fairness if they wanted it. But what they're going for really is the spot lane tier 2. I think that is now what is not left long for the world, and at a certain point they're likely to just go, okay, we want that tier 2 top lane as well. Let's walk in and take that.
This is very much that point in the chess game where you've like the enemy opponent has made so many mistakes that you are just literally with Bishop and Queen taking every single last little piece of the game, and it does really feel like Oplon are getting picked apart. We are moving towards the end game, and the end days. Judgment Day is coming for Oplon from Karmine Corp.
And in fairness, this is what you wanted from Karmine Corp. If you're a fan of KC coming back off the back of an EU Masters Championship, you want this game to look like this, right? We've got to this mid-game point now where Karmine Corp are effectively 10,000 gold up, and we're gonna be watching some boring League of Legends. There's gonna be one fight likely that just probably wins the game, or we're gonna be seeing some very entertaining League of Legends in the event that Oplon end up winning.
It is lying technically, rude dude, but we should just say like, oh god, we're heading for something incredible. It is gonna be Peng getting hooked there. It's a massive ultimate from Reckless here. Schoenfire's gonna get tunked out. That's gonna be KC Reckless with his killing spree. Give it up, they say. Get down tonight is Reckless. He goes forward with a Q, manages to find a little bit more damage. This is a triple kill. Abashard is pushing on the bot side. 1-1-3 flashes forward. It's a bit awkward. He doesn't quite manage to find it in the end. Eagle goes forward, but we spoke about the margins of error available for him. Nautilus Q does go down, but they managed to walk away here. It would have been very dangerous, and kills could have gone down, but nothing in the end.
Yeah, and there was a solo kill in the bot lane as well. We did catch it in the picture-in-picture. Carboshard able to find Dalek in the 1v1. So another kill going over to this incredibly fed top lane. A Stridebreaker Death Stance. This Olaf is not going to die. If he gets on top of you, you are going to yourself. Consistently finding these plays across the map. We're going to get to see that dive on the top lane once more. Going forward for Reckless, they just don't quite find it. A really good flash from Reckless takes him out to safety. And then the brunt of the damage that comes through, able to take down the volley bear. Stolen away 1-1-3, not quite able to find the distance onto G-Core. And then I see this ult go in and I start to get terrified. But fortunately enough,
I think, strangely enough, 1-1-3 has looked better at gank than he has at volley bear.
Yeah. Based off of the 2 interactions we've seen, that is not incorrect.
He might be a very strange example of a player that is better at more difficult champions.
Yeah, not wrong. I mean, also, to give credit, the sample size...
Sample size
it's not
very
high.
small, so I am being entirely disingenuous. But it's funny to say it.
It is. 1-1-3 needs to start playing Gangplank jungle is the conclusion we've come to.
I think it could work.
Or roll swap to top lane. It's up to him.
I wonder what Cabochard will think about that.
I mean, Cabochard's playing Olaf. He's getting ready for the jungle champs too.
Yeah, oh my god, you figured it out. Crazy. This is going to be Hunter over the wall, twist and turn. That is not going to be what you want. Nautilus ultimate comes out. That's going to be... Oh, God, that's going to be... Peng just absolutely getting obliterated there. Cabochard is running rampant in the backline as well. Axe is swinging.
No. That's the noise I imagine. Oh, okay. Bye, Schoenfire.
See you later, Schoenfire.
That's cheeky True Shot Barrage. Doesn't get any damage down, unfortunate. But this is KC likely just to be able to go and take the Baron. What we sort of haven't really touched on is how well K-Corp have controlled this top side since that Baron spawned. Twist, he went for a ward.
Map, to be fair.
Yeah. They have. And Twist went in for that ward in what is arguably the safest spot to ward that brush. But it just doesn't matter. They didn't even get a ward into the pit. They're going to know that it's going down, but Oplon are just down such a hole right now that this is so hard to come back from. They may get a Drake here. That's their saving grace, but Zico's gone for the push in the mid lane as opposed to taking the objective, which, fair enough. This will give you more gold.
Yeah. I mean, if he's a real AD carry player, he goes and takes that red.
And dies. That's the real AD carry player.
That's the real AD carry. But,
There's a good chance that this one doesn't get secured. Actually, never mind. There's not.
No one's in position.
I'm hoping too much.
It's obviously not been quite the game we, in terms of like people we were bigging up before the game. I wanted to see Zcor come in and have a real statement piece because I feel like he had a really strong last split. He's obviously coming up against quite a titanic colossus in Karmine Corp. Obviously not able to have that individual performance we would have liked. It's obviously really nice to see he's a player from Tunisia, which is kind of an underrepresented country in terms of general ERL. It's lovely to see him. I'm sure there's a lot of Tunisian fans that are going to be cheering him on. Not able to quite find anything in this game as this is a bit of a stomp, bit of a rollover, but Signs, yeah. Is it appropriate to say signs of life? I don't feel like it quite is. And 113 is just styling. He gets Rakan ulted though. He's gonna get ignited. The shield comes down. That is gonna be the Rakan ignite. Gets it just about in the end. It's a massive Nautilus ult. Reckless is gonna be able to do so much damage here. Q lands. It's gonna be even more. One more Q. And he find the Q onto Dalek. That's a triple kill for Reckless. They can't quite manage to find Peng. He should be able to walk away here. But with Abashard on the bot side, this should be them edging towards this victory here. That's going to be the flash away from Peng. 4 members down. It's at least double in here. Maybe even a Nexus turret or 2. Maybe even a game. I'm not quite sure it will be.
They've got the Baron. They should be able to take this one. It's going to be close, and there's probably going to be a last-ditch defense, but there's that hook.
Absolutely, and it is going to be the catch out onto Peng there. Spoke about how he didn't have that flash just a second ago. Walks up a second. He's done a good job so far. I feel like in a multiverse situation, like a Doctor. Ooh, Reckless tries to get through the shield gate here. Can't quite manage it. He's going very low. The 1k does unfortunately go onto Schernfire. Abashard in response gets a double kill. He's in Ragnarok. He's Ragnaroking. He's Ragnaraging. He tries to find Dalek. He's not in ultimate just quite yet, but the teleport is coming out in response. He goes very low. Flash away from Dalek isn't going to mean much. Z-Core tries to get away here. He's going to get stunned up here. It's not quite the quadruple for Abashard, but 23-3 is just an obscene amount of kills. In contrast, that should be the game for Karmine Corp. A statement piece for them, coming back off that EU Masters win. What a win in their first game.
Absolute domination. There's no other way of putting it. They're going to do a little bit of KDA farming on the end here. The Nexus finally falls. But there is no doubt that Karmine Corp were the best team in Europe and that they are trying to defend that title. A very good showing from start to finish. They found leads in the top side of the map and they were able to facilitate leads everywhere else based off of it. Very well played by 113 to just set up, be in the right place at the right time. And like I say, Karmine Corp, that first expected victory.
Yeah, it is an expected victory. We spoke about how it really was that kind of Sisyphus-like task, pushing that boulder up the wall. Whether Zeke could really manage that on himself was a question.